from there.
Yeah, definitely, because you know, riff making is going to be, you know, the most important thing that you want to do for any type of scale that you're using, any type of, even if you didn't even use a scale, if you literally just chose random notes, you could use the riff making technique and have a really good time. So let's go and take a look at that again. It's unfortunately it's a little bit of a very difficult to gauge, like, you know, your skill level on this. How am I supposed to rate you? You know, like, you know, it's very subjective.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I get it.
all right. So let's consider this thing, this little box down here. Remember that we're making riffs. We want to keep it within our sort of designated rhythm measure. So you want to try to aim, you know, calculate that and see how much space you have. We can do this in any key. So, you know, why don't we try taking a look at you know, like Dorian or something. That'll be a good one.
Sorry, which one?
Let's try Dorian.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually, yeah. So I mean, I guess you can kind of think of it this way. Remember that we're sort of working on our pentatonic scales, and you know, we kind of have like a couple different ways that we can use this riff making strategy. And I was thinking, yeah, like triad plus one is good. You could also use the pentatonic scale plus one. You know, you could also use or just the pentatonic scale by itself, or you could use the whole mode. I think we're gonna wait on the modes. Let's focus on our triad plus one and the pentatonic plus one, and then we'll go into like the mode stuff a little bit later. All right, just to kind of give us, see if I can jot that down here. Because like there's different versions of this. Once you learn more music theory positions, you're going to be able to do this again in the different scales that you have. So level 1 is the triad plus 1, but we also have the sort of the level 2, which is the pentatonics, and using just that, and level 2, kind of like that. The triad plus 1 is a great place to sort of start, but let's try to focus on our pentatonics now. And if we're gonna do this in the key of D, like, let's go there. And just like that, I just made up a riff on the spot right there. I mean, it's not the greatest riff, but you know, it follows the same principles here. So let's try doing the. I mean, we started on the first variation last time, so let's focus on the last variation this time, which is going to be the using multiple octaves within a single phrase. This is actually a very free form version of variations here, so there is very, very little restrictions here. The only thing that I want you to do is to try to come up with a phrase that's in multiple octaves at the same time. So, you know, let me give a little bit of distortion on this here so you can get some sort of a crunch. And I'll give you some examples of this final variation.
I think you, can you hear everything on my side okay?
Yeah.
You're coming in a little quiet. You might need to turn yourself up a little bit if you can.
With my voice. Yeah. How about that? Is that better?
Yeah, there you go.
All right, cool. Is my volume on the guitar about the same as my voice, or is it?
No, actually, your guitar's still pretty quiet. You may want to crank that a little bit.
Oh, the guitar is quiet.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me try. Let me think about how I can do this. I think it's probably on your end, to be honest.
All right. Let me see what I can adjust here.
Do you have headphone volume? All the way up?
Yeah.
And then also your computer volume all the way up. And worst comes to worst, yeah, just make sure the computer volume's all the way up, because the thing that I have this set up for you now is my I want to try to get my voice and the guitar about the same level. So is it about the same level?
Yeah.
Is that kind of about the same?
Here. Yeah, your guitar and voice are the same,
About the
but
same.
pretty quiet on my
It's a
side.
little bit quiet,
so I
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Figure out how I can turn you up.
There's sort of three different ways you can try here in the zoom settings, making sure that this is all the way, or sorry, your this thing's all the way outputting maximum, right? And then the computer volume is output at maximum, headphone volume is output at maximum, and if that's not enough, you can actually do some editing, probably on the box itself. I think maybe the box has a volume knob too, doesn't it?
You know what? I just fixed it. I had the wrong output set in Zoom.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah. Okay, great.
Your volume just went up the right way. So.
Awesome. Okay. So anyway, let's focus on this last variation that we have here.
Okay.
Right. Again, there's not going to be very much restrictions on this in terms of like, what to do. You can use the entire pentatonic scale. You can use all the notes. Right? But what we want to do is use multiple octaves in a single phrase. So let me try sort of giving you some examples here. I'm in D. And so I'm using 3 octaves at the same time. You couldn't see my hands here. But I was using 3 octaves at the same time there to play that riff. Did you see that? It's kind of weird. You want me to give you another example? Or do you want to try one? Go ahead and try it. We'll switch off. You try one.
Well, I wasn't able to see how you were playing that. So you're in D, right?
How was I doing that? Yeah, I'll show you. I'll explain when I was doing it, but I'd prefer it if you try something a little bit different here. So I got my index finger on the low. I have my middle finger playing the second D, so low D, middle D, and then I use my pinky here to just kind of fiddle around with the third, the fifth. I didn't even use any. I only used the triad. So 1, 3, and 5 for that.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and try to make something up here. Yeah.
Is that the right? Those are right octaves there.
That's fine. Those are 3 octaves right there.
Yep.
Perfect. All right, so that's totally valid. Let's try another one.
Cool.
Okay, so this is okay, but we can use all the other notes too, right?
Yeah. I'm just trying to refresh my triads here.
Gotcha.
I mean, should I? I guess I know it's probably more of a creative question than anything, but like, should I just be using my pinky to jump around, or
You can do anything you want to with this. This is, again, it's a very broad thing. So I would assume that we've already sort of gone through variation 1, variation 2, variation 3, and now we're doing the 4th one. So you kind of already had some experience before, but we're jumping into the 4th one, doing it backwards from here, just to kind of throw you off a little bit.
Okay, got it.
Keep going. Try to solidify that. There was a little bit of mistakes in there.
Yeah.
And keep trying it until you kind of can do it without mistakes. That's great. You know, these simple ones are totally fine for the beginning, okay? So once you kind of go back through the other variation methods that we've done, you're going to start to be a little bit more creative. We're just, again, starting on the hardest one. This is kind of the hardest one because when you have an open canvas, it's kind of difficult.
Yeah.
You don't have any prompts. So let me give you some more ideas here. So there you go. That was kind of an interesting one. Hitting the third of the low, got the one of the mid, hitting the third of the mid, the four of the mid, and then the one of the high. It's kind of interesting. All right, your turn.
All right, sounds good. Sorry, I selected a tone that I thought was going to be good, but it is not. So let me go back to the one that I had there. There we go.
I'll go back to crispy here. Nice, that one was pretty cool, man. That was good. You're starting to think about some other ways we could do this. Let's try maybe even coming backwards. I'll do one here, starting from the high tone. Kind of the high versions, high side. It doesn't have to be all three, but at least just 2 to 3 octaves if you can. Even I was using even a third one in there, so at the very last note, we actually have 4 total octaves we can hit if you have the highest note possible.
Yeah, gotcha. All right,
let's try another one here. That was cool.
I forgot how I did it.
Yeah, the hard part's gonna be remembering what you did.
I know, right?
That's the hard part. Good. All right. Let's try a little bit more here. One more. This is hard, man. right, your turn. Yeah, so we have a lot of cool, like, basically, you know, string skipping in a sense. We're trying to sort of jump between lows and then highs pretty quickly.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of that stuff is happening when we're doing this type of variation here.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's now head over to the third one, which is changing the order of the notes, but keeping the rhythm the same. So this one should be relatively simple. You just come up with a simple beat, and you're going to use that beat with all these different note possibilities that you have, and just keep changing the notes, but keep the beat the same. So just for an example here, we're going to try just a stupid silly little beat. We're going to change keys as well, because I like changing keys.
Sure.
So let's go to I kind of want to use B, but the thing is we don't have B minor or B major. I don't know. I suppose we could choose either B minor or B major, but I prefer to stick to a regular key. So alright. We'll just have to do this in I really want to do this B minor thing, so I'll just do a little B minor just for fun.
Okay.
What the hell? Where am I here? Oh, that's B. See, I haven't really played too much in B, so I got a little lost there.
Gotcha.
Alright, so there we go. I just took that simple beat. Dun, 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 and I just applied it to all these different types of note combinations all over throughout the entire scale. And it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. The B scale, I mean, we've done the diminished. Is it the same shape, though, if it's minor?
If it's minor, it's going to be the same thing that we have here. And if it's
Yeah,
major, you
gotcha.
can do major if you want to do major.
Just key off the B, though.
Yeah, just key off the beat. You got it. Yeah. So go ahead and try to make a rhythm pattern, a beat first.
Okay.
Let's first. keep going on this. You either keep going on the same one or create a new beat and keep going on with that one.
Yeah, I guess I don't know the B scale. I haven't played the B that much either, so.
All right, well, you want to go back to A?
Sure. I don't know. Riff making is still just tough. Like my brain just doesn't want to do it on the fly, you know?
Just keep thinking about the rhythm. It's all about the rhythm here. Just play random notes. Oh, careful there. We changed up the rhythm. Not allowed to do that. We're gonna stick with one single rhythm throughout this whole thing if you can. Keep changing the notes. Now you can also use single notes. You don't have to use double notes all the time. Keep going. We use the same rhythm.
Gosh, I keep forgetting where that.
Yeah, this basically forces you to just, you know, when you're soloing and stuff, you're kind of thinking like, well, what are the notes that I can use? You know, what are the rhythms that I can make? You start thinking about too much stuff. This one here forces you. The only thing you can do is change notes. You can't do anything else.
Yeah.
It's gonna force you to really be able to see the entire shape. Okay, unfortunately we can't really use that rhythm there because it's a consistent rhythm.
Yeah.
You're gonna need some
right.
pauses. I can give you a new rhythm pattern if you want to work with something.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So, how about this? Let's try that. Keep experimenting with new notes in different octaves. Keep going without stopping. Yeah. You tried the seventh yet?
No. I'm not sure where the seventh is.
It's behind the one. 1, 3, 5. That'd be.
So that's one.
Yeah, I'd suggest to think of the 7 being behind the 1 instead of after the 5. Yeah. Now, when you played that note there, kind of going out of scale, just so you know, right?
Yeah.
Out of position, not necessarily out of key, but you're out of position.
Yeah, out of position.
There's a different way to play that same note.
Yeah, I'm just.
Which one is it? How do you do it?
I'm not sure which note it is, so E, F, G. It's not that one.
I think it was the 3rd, because you were playing off of the 4th, right?
I'm not sure, man. The numbering is also confusing me, trying to memorize that too. That's the E, or the A, so that's 1, right?
Yeah, you got your 1 there.
1, 3, 5.
Well, that's not quite right.
Or is it 1, 2, 3?
1, 2, 3. So are you doing an A major here?
What's that?
We're doing an A major?
Oh. No, sorry. It should be a minor.
Okay,
I
so
was
A
doing
minor.
minor the whole time, but I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
got.
Okay, so you were kind of using the 7th, which is correct, right? You were doing your thing. You were hitting the 7th on the A, which is fine. Right? Hitting 7. Where's the 7th? Yeah, but you're doing it on the low side, right?
Yeah, but it should be.
You could do it on the low side. You were doing something like this. Right, something like that?
Yeah, and this is the 7th back here, right? For the first octave.
Yeah. Right, so that was good. But then what you did was you took that same thing you were doing and you just shifted it down a string.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
Now, while those are the correct notes that you can play, I want you to try to stay in position. So let's just review what we were doing. So you had the 1, and you did some little chord stuff, and then you hit the 7, right? So try that again. Okay, great. Now you try doing this 1 string down, right?
Still not quite right.
Well, the thing is, you changed it there. The way that you did it before was different than the way that you did it.
Yeah, the way I did it before was from
You played
here.
it off of 4, right? So you gotta think about what your root is. Your first note.
Yeah.
So if you're playing it off of the 5, that's fine. If you play it off, you're fine. You're totally fine. But if you play it off your 4, then you're gonna be heading off of the side of the scale here. When we try to repeat that, I want you to sort of see what this is. Hit the 1, and you played the 7, right? Then you just shift it down a string.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and try shifting it down a string. See, but that's not down a string. That's down and then up. You see what I mean?
Oh, not really. I started here, didn't I?
or did you play it a 4? My bad. Yeah, sometimes you gotta correct me if I'm wrong, you know? Okay. So, you did it off the 1. Try it one more time.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we're gonna bring it down a string and do the same thing. Yeah. Right. Okay. That was what you were playing before, right?
Right, yeah.
Now, those are the correct notes, but it's the incorrect position. So let's fix that and make the correct position. What note are you basing this off of here?
Is that the E?
It's not an E. You don't have to think about letters. Just think about numbers.
Oh, so if I'm basing it off the 1, right?
That was what the first thing was. You're basing this off the 1, and then the 7.
Oh,
What's
I
right
guess
below
this
the
is
1?
off the 5, isn't it?
Not the 5. What's right below the 1? You see the diagram right here?
Oh. Yeah, the 4.
Yeah, so it's off the 4. And then, when you go off the 4 and you shift it back behind the 4, well, what's behind the 4?
Should be the 7.
Not
Or
the
no.
Not the 7. What's
No,
behind the
is
4?
it-
What comes before 4?
3? Is it
3.
a 3?
Yeah. So
Oh,
instead
it's out
of
of
shifting
position.
your finger down here, just play the 3 in the correct position, which would be right over here. See, when you do it that way, you start thinking about numbers properly. There we go. Yeah, that would be correct. So now you're staying in position.
Is this the right one and this one then? Or am I still out of position the next way down?
That would be correct in this position because that would be behind the 1, which is totally fine. And,
Okay.
and keep in mind that eventually I'll let you play slightly out of position like that. I'll let you play that 4 or that 3 over here because I was doing that too. But you have to know exactly what you're doing. And one of the best ways to start thinking about exactly what you're doing is to try not to actually do lots of these double stops in this particular case here. If you're doing lots of double stops, you're gonna struggle to see. Like you're trying to combine a lot of stuff, trying to like see everything together. But I would focus on just doing one single pitch at a time here. So you just follow the pattern around. Just try to follow the scale around with, instead of doing basically going up and down the scale, like, just normally, which is boring. Just pick a rhythm pattern and go up and down the scale with the rhythm pattern, right? It's almost exactly the same thing that this
Okay.
This variation here is.
Yeah.
We're gonna stick to this one. Let's make a new rhythm pattern if you can.
Okay.
Keeping in mind that the most important thing in music is creating good rhythm patterns, good beats.
Yeah. Which I'm apparently struggling with.
I just need a little practice. Forget about playing guitar. Think about being a drummer.
Yeah. It's just coming up with something on the fly.
Yeah. Drum it out with your hands. I think you can do that, right? Or beatbox or something, Make sure there's some pauses. Make sure there's some pauses in there. Perfect. Now, play around the scale. Doing really good. Yes. Perfect. Keep going. is much better than we were doing before, I believe. This is good, because now you're starting to explore. But you're doing sort of the same thing a lot. You're playing, first of all, you're sticking with just one note on the 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Which you could totally play more notes than just one, right? You could do... Right? Something like that. You could do... Where are we? Okay, so you can start to add more notes into that first part. Let's try that. Could also be 2 notes just back and forth as well. Okay, so now let's limit it to 2 notes here. So back and forth between like 2 notes here. So 2 notes. Sticking on A here.
What's that?
We on A here?
Oh, I guess I wasn't. Sorry.
Nice, there we go. Some more things are coming out now, that's good. Perfect. The only thing you gotta do is just stay in key. That's it. Repeat the rhythm, stay in key. Starting to sound good, yeah?
Yeah,
That
definitely.
was a B there.
Oh yeah, it was.
Alright, I suppose that was pretty good for this one here. Alright, this is a really important one because you can see you got to be able to visualize all the notes that you can play, and this kind of forces you to do that somewhat. So let's head on to variation number 2, which is going to be changing the rhythm pattern. Changing the rhythm pattern. It's changing the beat every time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You see, all these things are just critical to your riff making skills. You can, if you can, visualize the scale, and if you can come up with great beats, and you can use all 3 octaves at the same time, and you can come up with different variations to end things, different variations to begin things. Like,
Yeah.
there's not much more to do in riffs. So let's focus on changing rhythm patterns. And we're going to keep the notes the same this time, okay? It's going to help you to focus more on the rhythm and less on what notes you're playing. So,
Okay.
You were playing with this, or here. We're going to do this in a different key, though. We're going to go to G. And I think... Let's do... 1, 2, 3, 4, and that'll be our 5th, I guess. So, yeah, sure. This is an 8, 6, 5, 3, and a 1. Let's try that. Perfect. So, here you go. That's the order. And remember that even though we're going to keep that same order, you can loop back through, so you could start sort of technically wherever you wanted to. But that's going to be our same general order. And that was just try to come up with a beat with that. think like a drummer now. You've only got 5 notes. You only got 5 drums, so you're gonna have to come up with a good beat with these 5 notes. It really doesn't matter
Got it.
what the notes are. Just keep the order the same. Perfect. Now, new one. Now, when you're changing into a different octave, you can do that, but you have to use a different rhythm anyway. Try to figure out where those notes are. Yeah. So now, new rhythm. But you can't go backwards, you can only go forwards.
Oh, I can't go backwards, huh?
Not going backwards. Very good. Alright, let's try a new one. Can you need a little help first trying to figure out what those are? Oops. If you're gonna go up to that, are you trying to do it in the next octave? You're gonna have to hit that high. And then there's even another one right there. There's one. We actually have one less note than that.
What's that?
We only have we have one less note. You're adding in a 2 in there.
Oh, am I?
There you go. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, I want to try to help you out here because, well, we've always started on this high 8, and we've put a lot of emphasis on the low 1, sort of leaving that 1 and then hanging out on the 1 for a bit. So, can we try maybe putting more of an emphasis on the middle section and just kind of skipping through the 1 and the 8, and the 8 and the 1?
Sure.
More emphasis in the middle notes. Yeah,
Something
one great
like
way
that.
to put, yeah, that's pretty good. One great way to put emphasis on a middle note is to tremolo pick it more. You kind of did it on the 4 there, but let's try to tremolo a little more in there. See how you kind of ended it like on the 1 and then you held the 1?
Move off the 1.
So, kind of doing this here. how do you get off the 1 quickly? You're gonna have to get back to the 8, right? That's a little better there. But yeah, how do you get off the 1? It's not gonna be a silent. Can't, if you silent it, then you're still on the 1, right? So you can't like end it early and then silence. Can't really do that because you're still on 1.
Right.
So the only way to get off of 1 quick is to go back to 8 immediately. So cut off 1 quickly, go back to 8. Mm-hmm. That was better. Yeah. Now, we're coming into that sort of a weird point here where it's like, well, if I do that, it sounds a little weird. So, how do we fix that? Start on a different note. Yeah, let's start on the 4. Starting on 4. Starting on the 4. And you're ending on 5, essentially, right? Yeah. Now that is very strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little weird.
That's very different from what we were doing. And all we had to do was just start on a different note. Let's keep trying a little bit more there, starting on 4. See what else you could do. Let me go back into the middle octave if you want. What are the notes? Just play through the notes real quick without... Even there, another rhythm.
Yeah, sorry, I can't figure out the numbers here.
Go ahead and work this out. Starting on 4.
So that's 4, right?
There's the 4, a 3, and a 1. And then a 7. High octave.
The high octave?
Well, yeah.
Oh, got it.
And then a 5. So you're right next to it. There you go. Alright, keep working on that. Okay, so that's kind of, yeah, something you could do is sort of loop through this, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what you're doing there. Is you're kind of starting on the first note and then sort of ending on the first note as well. Yeah, looping through will work. You know, that'll help you to sort of sneak in extra notes in there. So. This is really hard here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, all right, well, let's try to get there faster now. So what we can do is try to get to the 5 as fast as you can, going through. There's so many different things you can do.
It's so frustrating.
Let's try it in a different spot, maybe, like in the low octave here. There's another one.
Yeah. Okay.
Starting on the 1, ending on the 3. 5, 4, 3. Don't end on the 1 though. Start on the 1, end on the 3. Alright, you gotta be careful here because that's kind of an improper rhythm there. Okay, do you see this little thing right here? This little box?
Yeah.
Essentially, you're trying to cut the rhythm off too early here on this thing right here. Just gotta hold on to that 3 a little bit longer, and then start over.
Hold on to the 3.
Yeah. Yeah, do you see that? You gotta wait a little bit before you start over. Perfect. leave some space, and then hit the 3 again, right? Yeah. Exactly. Now, let's start on the 3.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Starting on the 3, right?
Here's another one. Keep in mind, you have to fit within the rhythm box.
Yeah. What am I ending on?
The 4 or yeah, the 5, right? Oh my god, my bad. I was calling the 5 and the 4 totally different. This is a 6 and a 5. We're doing a 3, a 1, an 8, a 6, and a 5, right? Shit corrected me.
I mean, I don't even know what I'm playing, so. Is that the right pattern?
Sure. So essentially, all I'm trying to do here is just try to get you to not think like a guitar player and instead think like a drummer, right? You see what we're doing? We're just like we've got these drums, and like who cares what they sound like, right? I don't care what what it sounds like. I just want you to try to beat on them or drum on them in different ways, in different orders, right?
Okay.
Let's try a little bit more here. If you start playing some chords in this thing, you have to realize that when you play the chords, you're essentially playing them at the same time, so you're not playing them out of order because they're sort of landing in the same order there. So I keep playing this over and over again until I get it right. I want to make sure I'm right, play it nicely, technically proficiently before I do something else. So I'm playing here with a first thing. I'm playing a chord. Can't see that too well. So that's pretty good. We're coming up with some different rhythms here, aren't we? So let's go back to the final variation here real quick and just kind of change our endings. And we're going to be now in a different key, so we're going to try this in C major. And I'd like to try just creating a beginning, and then we're gonna end it with how we're gonna end it. We can only use pentatonics Okay, you do this in any of the octaves as long as you play the same beginning.
So I'm just refreshing myself here. What should I be starting on?
You
Which
start
number?
anything. Doesn't really matter.
Oh, anything?
Yeah. Just create some kind of a beginning. Alright, you gotta change the ending every time.
Got it.
Keep going. That's fine.
Am I in the right octave? Am I in the right
Sure.
scale there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep going. Well, the thing is that when you're changing octaves, you're using the same endings from before.
Yeah.
So keep the same beginning is fine, but change the endings. Alright, do you know why that's happening? Why you're coming up with the same endings in the different
I
octaves?
don't know. I can't get it out of my head, honestly. That's probably part of the issue.
The reason is because you're using the notes within that same octave and not exploring other octaves. See? So when you play your intro in another octave, you don't have to stay in that octave to play the endings. You can venture out of that octave and play the other octaves for the
Fair
ending
enough.
part. Start with the beginning part in that octave. Careful there. Now, into the next octave. Perfect. explore their octaves here. You can go high, you can go low. As the ending part, back to the middle.
Whoop.
That's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard, but at
tough.
least you're trying.
Yeah.
Let's keep
Yeah, I
going
think I just
slowly.
gotta put in the work and do better about moving between the octaves.
Yeah,
and
yeah, exactly.
memorizing those better. But
Right. That's just a common mistake that people tend to, when they move octaves, they tend to play the same, like they tend to stick within that octave because they're in that
Right.
octave. But the truth is, you should expand from there.
got it.
All right. I guess if you want, we can wrap things up here. I don't know if.
Yeah, I got a jet, but I'll definitely work on some riff making this week, and
Awesome.
hopefully maybe I can have a little bit more creativity next time around.
Yeah, this is good. This is really good. I mean, I can't really expect people to go crazy on this creativity stuff. I mean, it's basically like I'm forcing you to do this properly, which is good.
Yeah.
Let me just go ahead and give you a score here that we got. So we had a 3 last time. We could probably do something more like a 5.
Hey, you just give me a 4. You just give me a 4.
4.
Yeah, we'll ramp it up next time.
Okay.
I'll do some work this week.
Yeah, it's good. Go ahead and keep working on this thing here, because this is one of the most important exercises in this entire book here.
Cool. Will do. I'll work across all the different scales and octaves and do as much
Yeah.
as I can.
Yeah, it's fun. Awesome. This
Cool.
is the most practical application of all this stuff here. Just... Anyway,
Definitely.
sweet man. I'll see you around. Okay, Fletcher.
Cool. All right.
Awesome.
Talk to you next week.
Have fun.